But from his attorney, he's refuting the claims that were in the police report. He's saying that Darelle was actually not the aggressor, that it was the other way around, that he was approached first by an individual who instigated the situation. It escalated, and he basically says that this was self-defense. That's at least what they're attributing it to at this particular moment in time. I actually spoke with Darelle's lawyer earlier this morning, and he told me, he said, look, this is a guy who's been in the national spotlight since he was 13 years old and hasn't really been in any kind of trouble. So why in the world would he be involved in a situation like this at 31 years old? Here's a little bit more about what Blaine Jones had to say when media talked to him yesterday.
As far as I'm concerned, Darelle Revis' credibility is stellar. It's second to none. He's never been in trouble. Why all of a sudden would he do something now? He was not the aggressor that night. He was 1,000% the victim. He tried to retreat. He did everything in his power to try to get this situation to die down, to de-escalate the situation that the other group started. Darelle was by himself when he was physically assaulted by one of the men. And unfortunately, at what point in time do you say enough is enough?
Now, as you mentioned, Jay, this happened early in the morning on Sunday morning, so Saturday night into Sunday morning. And the area is on the south side of Pittsburgh here, Carson Street and South 23rd Street. Those are the cross sections right there. And I drove by there last night when I got into town. There's a lot of bars in that area. It's worth noting this is actually the same area where Steelers assistant coach Joey Porter had been involved in an altercation going into the playoffs. Of course, those charges in his situation were dropped.
So, Coley, what happened? Someone came up with a cell phone, started filming Darelle. He didn't like it. Is that what went down, essentially?
Yeah, from what I've gathered talking with Blaine and even from what I've seen him say to other people, essentially, Darelle was a little concerned for his safety, according, again, to Blaine Jones. He says that he thought maybe that was a weapon. He didn't know if it was a cell phone at first or not. He apparently tried to grab it or tried to push it out of his hand. The attorney was not exactly sure whether the phone was knocked out first or whether he grabbed it first. But his initial reaction was that he was being threatened in some fashion, not necessarily that a video was being filmed, which is what the police report says happened.
Okay, what comes next for Darelle, Coley?
Well, what's next is he's got to turn himself in. We're not sure if he'll be turning himself into these doors behind me at this particular police station. We're actually at the police headquarters here on the north side of Pittsburgh. But he could turn himself in at any precinct in the city, and that should happen, according, again, to Blaine Jones. I spoke with him this morning. He said that should happen at some point, quote, in the next 24 to 48 hours. So it could be today, it could be tomorrow, but we are expecting that to happen soon. I also did ask Blaine, where is Darelle Revis? And he says he